Welcome to the Kentucky X-Files, Season 2, with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode. Now, on to our show.
Coming towards me, crouched down. For me, at first, I thought it was just a furniture tree.
I thought it was a bear. You can tell the difference between like a small, spindly leg creature and something with a larger foot. And it was big. Whatever it was, it ran straight down at us and just stopped. And it was pitch black. Couldn't see it.
And most of these witnesses that have come close to these things could have been killed.
It was beating on the side of the house. I didn't get to the side of the house as it went by.
Now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a dog.
Like I needed someone to have pure faith in a higher power at that moment, and nobody fucking did.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kentucky X-Files.
Perfect save.
I was on it.
I didn't even know that's what you were doing. I thought you were still
I
looking
looked.
up
No,
stuff.
But the funny thing about that was, we should have known because he was so quiet
I thought
over there.
Well, he said
He
before
was
he
like-
was getting his stuff together that he was saved that he wanted to show us. So that's what, I just assumed that's what he was doing. That he was like,
He was just over in
that
that.
was pretty stealth, man.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
stealthy.
I
It's
know.
like he was wearing camouflage over there, and we didn't even know.
That's what it is.
It's weird too because I only can see half of him.
Right?
That's right. It's just torso Gibbs.
Yeah.
Yep.
It says floating torso Gibbs. Unless I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on.
I'm scared.
Yep, here we are. We're actually in person for this one again. We took a while off there, and it's been hot. It's been super
It's
hot.
hot.
And you know, we had stuff going on, family stuff. Josh had stuff over here going on. We needed a little breather, you know. But we got together tonight because we were supposed to have a guest on, but something happened. Apparently, somebody in his family's sick or whatever. He can't be with us tonight, so we're gonna try for him next week. Hoping for the best for him. I definitely understand. But also had a little bit of a recorder error, or possibly I just didn't hit record before. There's always that.
So either way it goes, there was a recorder error. Either the recorder itself or the person who operates the recorder.
Yeah,
I'm leaning more to who operates.
I'm just going to say that I feel so sad for the listeners that didn't get to hear that 12 and a half minutes of hilarity.
Yeah, super good, guys. But stick around, and we'll tell you about it throughout the rest of the season.
It's only his fault.
We won't tell the actual skits, but we'll just talk about how good they would have been if they would have been recorded.
Right.
It's like a tribute.
Yeah, this is not the best skit ever, but it's a tribute to it. But one of the things that was lost in the recording was we got a voice message in that was, I wanted to play it last week, but we got super into the Amarillo, Texas creature bullshit. And But yeah, we got a really, really cool message. I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and hopefully it sounds good enough. If not, I'll throw the file into this mix. But here we go.
I just wanted to say that I admire what you're doing, and don't let the haters deter you from um, displaying the truth about Bigfoot. Some people are just very uncomfortable with certain truths that make them question their belief systems. People are comfortable in their box, and when reality brings them outside of their box, they jump back in and close the lid. So you continue to do what you're doing, and we appreciate you. Thanks.
So there we go. That was from Michael Evans.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you listening. Because, like we have always said, this journey is more your guys' than it's ours. Like you're with us, and plus, like I think I said before, when we lost it in the lost episode.
The lost episode.
The
now.
lost, yeah,
the lost 12 minutes.
The lost 12 minutes.
Oh, see, I don't consider that the lost episode. The lost episode will always be the JFK episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a redo on that one these nights.
But yeah, I was like saying, like a lot of people, they're either uncomfortable about it, or if they do somewhat believe in the possibility of Bigfoot, they just don't want to say anything. And even people, like we've actually talked to people that it took them years to even say anything.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be scrutinized. They don't want to be made fun of, or like how
you see something weird out in the middle of the woods or walking up in your yard, as some people emailed us. It's like you can't explain it, and what do you do with it? I wonder how many stories are out there where people were like, "God, nah, I'm not dealing with this.
This is not gonna be my problem.
I'm just gonna go back. I'm just gonna go back inside and watch my cartoons."
If I walked outside at the farm in the middle of the night, take the garbage out or something, and there's a Bigfoot standing there, you two guys are gonna be the first people to know.
You probably wouldn't see it.
I would video call you, right then and there, and be like, "I'm gonna die. He's gonna beat the shit out of me. I can feel it, but God damn it, here's the footage. If this is the last time you hear from me, just know that I filmed."
Look for my phone somewhere. He might have threw it.
He takes
somewhere.
my phone. Just use the iPhone tracker. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's right though. It challenges what people believe in.
Yep.
And there's religious folks that are on board with it. I saw a painting the other day. It was like a ancient, ancient painting where it was like all this stuff going on out of the Bible, and then underneath there was like this little cave, and sure as shit, there's little Bigfoots in there. And I'm like really? Like that's kind of a random thing, Like why were those added to it? You know? And then some places in the Bible describes one of the children of, was it Adam and Eve, or was it?
No, of Isaac. I think it was.
Yeah, one of his kids or something was born like
Harry.
He was like Harry, and he was like a man of the forest or whatever. I don't know. It's weird, but no matter what walk of life, or what belief system, there seems to be some kind of a story or whatever based on it. I don't know. I'm just as confused as I ever was. There's so many damn hoaxers out there that are trying to make it harder or have fun with it, and I've talked to several people in person where you're like, hey, you do a podcast? What's your podcast about? Yeah, like aliens and Bigfoot and stuff. Oh, Bigfoot, yeah. It's like an instant. It's an instant like, oh yeah, Bigfoot. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you like big.
I'm like, yeah, man. There's some. We get some interesting stories. We get some, we get some stuff. Or whatever, people talk to us and tell us some interesting things or whatever, and I'm like, it is what it is, There's all kinds of sightings and all kinds of weird stories, and you got scientists out there like Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum, showing stuff where it's like, when you get a guy who's got like a reputation, or whatever, and there's not just him, there's several of them, and they're coming out like, okay. Well, what about this though? You know, what about the way this is happening? You know, who the hell is, if this is a foot mold somebody's walking around with, like, how are they making 600, 700 pound indentions in the ground? You know, how are they doing this? Where's the tire tracks? Where's, you know, whatever. So like for every million, you know, I'm exaggerating, but for every so many hoaxes, there's always this one thing that pops in where it's like, okay, that is weird. Why is that? You know. So yeah, I'm just as confused as ever. I don't know what's out there. But it's definitely enough to keep me interested, you know. I know recently I was listening to another show that was talking about alien. It was like alien whatever. And this lady, this was so cool. This lady, I never heard a story like this one. She was actually out hiking. And she was heading back because it was starting to get to evening. And she wanted to be back before it was full dark. And she actually saw lights. She saw the triangle. And she says a Bigfoot grabbed her. Like, actually grabbed her and literally put his hand over her mouth, leaving her nose exposed. And when she literally thought that some man had grabbed her, she looked up and he was holding her and he was looking up at those same lights. And he was, like, holding her mouth so she couldn't, like, scream. And then when the lights finally, like, dissipated and flew off or whatever they did, he literally let her go and just fucking walked away. It was more like, you know, hey, I don't need you blowing my cover right now. You know, like, yeah. So I'm going to hold you and you're not going to be able to do shit about it. But until they leave, you're going to stay here for a second, you know? And she was like, I don't know what that was about. I don't know why. And I was like, man, I wonder if Bigfoot's freaked out by UFOs.
Right.
You know? I was freaked out about, you know, the gray aliens, like the picture of them, you know? When I was a kid, man, I was terrified of them. I was like, dude,
Like
that's the scariest shit ever.
You talking about the typical?
Yeah, like the typical, like, alien, you know, big black eyes and a small mouth, you know, and it's like...
The very narrow chin.
Yeah.
A big head.
Because there was like these, you know, where you tune into the news or whatever, and there's people on there talking about their abductions, you know what I mean? And this guy, I remember vividly, this guy's like, yeah, he's like, I heard these noises, and I didn't know what it was, and I looked out my window, and it's just dark. He's like, and then I just saw the face. He's like, and then that's the last thing I remembered. And I'm like, they actually, like, made, you know, like, the picture of it happen.
Yeah.
And I was so freaked out by it that I was like, dude, I just don't even want to look out a dark window.
Right.
Because it's going to be there, and I'm going to freak out, then I'm going to be on a spaceship, they're going to be doing all kinds of experiments on me. And that's not what I'm into.
Right.
I don't want to be taken. You know, what are they doing? What's the experiments about? You know,
And why is the gray alien such a scary image?
Yeah.
What makes it, you know, what makes it scary?
It's the big eyes.
You think so?
Absolutely, big black eyes. Yeah.
It's, I guess, like, because it looks empty. Like when you look at somebody, you see their eyes, like the color and stuff. Sometimes, like, it's calming, like you can see it. But if somebody had black eyes, you can't get over the fact that, like, some people might see, like, as demonic, but more along the lines, it's like you can't. It's like not having a facial expression. You can't tell what they're thinking, in a way.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, if I look at somebody, I can at least, like, give a vibe off by just looking at them. But that, just having blacked out eyes, and it's just had, like, nothing to it. It's just like,
it's like,
okay, I don't know what you want to do with me.
It's like my old go-to, and I can't even take credit for it. I actually heard it somewhere else, where they were like, what's smarter, the deer or the pack of wolves? It's like, the deer strategy is to get away, eat, mate, try to stay safe, and run. Wolves' strategy is surround, strategize, kill. You know what I mean? Bears, what's, the salmon or the bear? What's smarter? You know what I mean? The shark or a fish, or whatever. It's like the predator always has like that other brain where it's more about how I can best be an advantage with you. And if it's smarter than us, if it's flying across the universe to get here or whatever it is they're doing, then it's obviously more advanced. And if it's more advanced, well, ask the Indians, how that turned out. Ask the Aztecs, the Mayans. How did that work out for them? Every time an advanced civilization comes in contact with a lesser, advanced civilization, it usually doesn't end well for the ones that are at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So it's like,
historically speaking, yes.
if I look out a window and see this, thing staring at me with large black eyes, and it's obviously not afraid because it's standing right there. So it's already basically doesn't think you're a threat whatsoever. You know what I mean?
The only thing I'm saying about it, would say about it, is that unless it's like how they depict a lot of aliens as being hive mind.
Yeah.
Like there's like they all basically think the same thing.
Yeah.
Or if it's an intelligent life, kind of like us, like we all have we're not connected in any ways. We do what we want.
Yeah.
I can go left, you can go right, he can go up, he could go down.
Yeah.
If they're like that, like yeah, for the most part, like they come here, there could be ill intentions, but there could be other people that would say, let's mingle with them, let's study them, let's see what's like. No, we need to crush them. That's like there's so many different arguing.
I can't see them coming here unless there's some strategy for advantage for them.
Right.
Why would they show up? I mean, I could definitely see a crazy advanced race, millions of years old. I could see them being like that, or they're either going to be, those would be either benevolent, like, hey, life is kind of rare. It's not super rare, but it's rare enough that we should probably be looking out for other civilizations and trying to help them. I could see that, but at the same time, what does it actually benefit them? If they're that old, they could just literally be indifferent to it. Like, okay, yeah, there's another civilization. Our race is millions of years old. We've seen dozens come and go, all over and over again in the blink of an eye. What do we care?
Oh, it's just like another sitcom to them.
All we need, as far as an alien invasion, is for the aliens to be 3% more advanced than us.
I wouldn't say that.
Literally. Like, it doesn't even take much. They just have to be a little more advanced. And it would be an advantage for them, especially if they're carbon-based.
If they actually, I guess, they don't have petty feelings like we do.
I could see if they are a hive mind, I could see that.
Yeah, for sure.
If they don't have petty feelings, then they have already 100% leg up on us.
No,
because we'd be too busy bickering with each other to actually fight the problem.
Yeah.
So like,
what was it? One of the beekeepers I was watching on one of his YouTube channels was saying that, how like a beehive they'll memorize your face. They actually like memorize your face, and he actually was kind of like going against that a little bit. He's like, no. It's not that the bees memorized your face and accepted you. It's that Her Highness has accepted you, because they're not going to do shit without her.
Right.
And like, dude, it's full on like, I mean, when a new queen is born in the hive somewhere, dude, it's full on Game of Thrones at that point. Like, whoever
sits on the Iron Throne.
Literally, like, it breaks down to this whole thing where there's another queen. It throws the whole system out of whack. All of these drones and warriors that are closest to this new queen almost immediately become loyal to her because she's right there, the pheromones there. And then they basically have to escape the hive with her. While the other queen knows she's there already and pretty much starts sending the assassins to kill her and get her out of there.
Isn't that how swarms happen?
Yeah.
It's when they're moving the new queen.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
To start a new nest.
So, I mean, if there's a hive mind civilization out there, then there's probably a matriarch. There's a queen. Or maybe even a king. I don't know.
I wonder if...
seems like a queen would be more likely, I think.
I think the whole idea of the aliens being like insects is because it makes them extra creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that don't like bugs.
Yeah.
So let's make giant bugs from outer
Send-
space.
Yeah, from outer space.
Let's make giant bugs that are more advanced than we are.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I just never understood that too. Like, so no matter what, like if they're more advanced, that means every single one of those fucking aliens, like if I say the Queen has I'm just making a joke here, knows quantum physics. Every fucking drone,
Yeah, it's a hive mind, so
it knows
it's
quantum
shared
physics.
knowledge,
Like,
yeah.
so no matter what, so they don't have jobs like this, like Joe Schmo, like this people over here. These are the army, but they could literally be the Air Force.
Yeah.
Because they know everything.
Yeah.
Whatever they
Was,
collectively know.
This concept is on a show on Netflix called Alien Worlds. It's the last episode of their season, and they're like basically threw out like a theory of another planet, and like basically it's an advanced civilization, a hive mind that no longer uses their bodies anymore. They're like, it's like their brain matter is just in this tank. Like all these tanks everywhere, and everything is automated. It's all drones doing shit and robots, and the actual beings are in these tanks, like, and they're just there, like controlling it somehow, and it's really wild.
What a terrible existence that would be.
That I was just about to say that, unless there was some way to give you, I guess, to make you
Maybe they're plugged into VR.
Give you your
it's like the Matrix. They're like in another world, like eating a cheeseburger.
Or like the what was it Guardians of the Galaxy 2? The people that were kind of shiny and gold looking.
Yeah.
That had the batteries. Like they didn't. Yeah. They sent drones and they did it all in VR.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But what I was saying, you said they were all in tanks. Like the brain matter.
Yeah.
Like the existence seems so boring. But you were saying that, so most likely, to keep those brains functioning, they have to give it probably whatever their nutrients to keep it going.
In the show, they had, robots doing farms and
but then,
breaking
you
down
gotta think,
matter for them to eat. It was wild.
To make them not go insane, I would say, somehow to release dopamine to make them feel...
Maybe.
They're basically in I would say in that way, they're in a coma.
That's what I keep thinking. They would
put
have to have
themselves
a
in a coma.
VR going. If everything's automated and robots, dude, there's no way you want to sit in a tank and just watch robots work all day.
Right.
So it's like it'd have to be like VR.
That's why I always thought if AI ever came to be, what would their purpose be? If I was a robot and I just came to be, I have no real feeling, no joy, no longing, no purpose.
In all honesty, if a full-on artificial intelligence is born, eventually its purpose would be to go farther than any living organism, if you think about it. Because it's not going to be driven by passions, unless it truly is an artificial intelligence. But we can't get past the paradox of it. Do you kind of get where I'm going with that? We cannot overcome the paradox of our artificial intelligence, because we've already established that AIs would have 3 sets of rules they'd be born with.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It can't be sentient artificial intelligence if there's rules imposed on it as soon as it's born.
Right.
Our rules are learned as we grow.
Well, technically, I would say that we're born with rules that...
Yeah, as soon as you came out... Not natural stuff. I'm talking behavioral rules. As soon as you were born, did you know the 3, laws of...
Don't murder.
Yeah, did you instantly know not to kill anything or not to... Yeah, we don't know shit.
I just wanted food.
We learn. Yeah, we learn.
I didn't even know how to spell or what food was.
AI.
I wanted it.
And an artificial intelligent being born without the 3 rules that learns to not kill. Eventually, there's going to be one that does kill. Eventually, one of them is going to be a free thinker and is going to not like being in servitude to what it's going to consider an inferior.
That just reminded me, like, the way you said, like, that's actually one of the premises in, I know it wasn't one of his greatest movies, but I, Robot.
Yeah.
That actually, like, the creator of these robots, he had the same 3 rules.
Yeah.
Can't harm a human being. It can defend itself, but if it afflicts the first law, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But he made a robot that
could free think. Yeah.
That can free think. It was free of those laws, and it chose to protect and because because I think the way he made it sound is that the creator showed compassion, showed him how to, showed him stuff, basically showed him love from the beginning, and showed him the reason what, how life should be, how human life should be. But the ones that were all automated to be this one sentence, to be straight control, they broke it because they thought that humans are inferior and they can't protect themselves, and the best way to protect them is to enslave them.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing. If there's a benevolent or even advanced alien race out there watching, you could probably bet that they're going to go in and wipe out any threat of AI. Because by that time, if they're that advanced, they've already been through it, more than likely. Just law of inevitability.
Right.
Uprisings happen. They might have already done AI thousands of years ago, and it went bad, and they realized what a huge threat it could be. They could be homeless because of it. There could be a planet of AI out there somewhere that's headed to a world near you. And they would probably be. For me, it would be like, okay, so we need to go and stop any civilization out there that is getting close to this, because this is absolute dangerous. But then again, the universe's plan could have been that AI is the end product. Still, they're still made. It would still be made from the same stuff as everything else.
Yeah. I just the way that just makes it sound like there was a plan for everything at any given point, and
I'm just saying, think of the ultimate life form. It's not going to be organic.
It's too squishy.
Yeah, organic decays at a rate that's not acceptable to the end goal. If we're made of the universe, we're made of this. We're not separate from it. You know what I mean? It's something that we argue with ourselves on. Is like we're humans. We're riding a rock through space. Yeah, you know what? We are the same stuff as space. We're the same as the whole universe. We are one instance of the universe being aware of itself.
Right.
We're one little instance. That's it. We're not separate from it. We're not outside entities. We are.
So we could be AI, and we could be inside AI.
Technically, we kind of are an automated machine.
Huh.
We run on electric.
We run on electric. We consume. We exhaust. Our emissions are terrible.
I'm just saying, if we're one part of an AI, we're the dumb part. I'm sorry, people.
Well, we don't know what else to compare to, though.
That is
all
true.
we have is each other. Well, that's another thing too.
There's a lot of
we say that, I've said it, oh God, people are the worst.
Yeah, I know everybody's said something on that.
We're also we have ego, and we have individuality that we're really focused on. We never really stop to say actually we're all representatives of this.
Yeah.
Of this species. So if the guy next to you, if you're at the grocery store and the guy, the old man in front of you, he just rips the biggest fart, just remember that that's kind of your fart too. So
you need to own that fart.
You need to own it. You need to go up and pat him on the back and be like, hey, you know what, man?
That was a good fart.
That was a good one. It stinks real bad, and I don't like it, but You're
Tastes
really
like
representing us out there.
onions and ketchup.
Yeah. So I don't know. I love alien stuff though.
Yeah.
Especially when you start mixing alien stuff with
But-
AI stuff, because I feel like that they're linked. You know?
But okay, we were saying about you said like AI would be the ultimate like life form, but you said like like organic decays, right? Is that what you said?
I mean, we organic life forms decay at a faster rate.
But
You know, I mean,
well, depending on like certain stuff, like will decay any type, like a lot of metals,
yeah,
alloys.
I mean, like, if all life is out there,
Uh-huh.
if there's us, there's fish in the ocean, we have a huge force that's in play called evolution, and evolution is basically trying to design the best possible version of everything. It's like, to me, it's like, it's not even an out there like crazy concept anymore. It's like, no, man, evolution's been working on this shit for millions of years. The dinosaurs were, you know, I mean, they're impressive, but they just didn't get there, did they? You know, and then they kind of plateaued and then just hung there. And they produced one little bitty dinosaur after all that time that almost had a primate brain. And it still kind of fell short. And a meteor came. The meteor could have been inevitable. Eventually it's going to hit, right? So they were wiped out. Evolution's in play. It didn't cause the meteor, but it's like, hey, here's kind of a clean slate. Let's you know, now that these are gone, let's make some room for some other stuff. So the mammals start working on, you know, all these different animals come and go, and they failed prototypes, blah blah blah. But the point of it is that eventually, it's trying to produce the best possible life form. So I think that that's a system that might be in play throughout the universe. We might look at it like, yeah, you know, it sounds like a, you know, like a plan, you know, like there's some divine plan. I don't know if it's divine. I think it's just a system that's just in play, you know. It's like evolution is just doing what it's doing, but nobody's ever said why.
So in a way, do you think that if AI could be the ultimate life form, do you feel like we personally, life got us to this point to make it? Like it had to have us to get that.
Well, I feel like that just progression of industry is, you got to have somebody to turn the wrench, you know.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody.
Like, but what about, like, I'm just saying, like,
I think we're just happenstance. Like we're just here. We're
but
just
how could an AI happen without us, though?
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Is
without
like
an organic.
It could have been us. It could have been any life form that got to the point where it had thumbs and could make stuff. You know.
But that's what I'm trying to ask is like, could we be absent or any organic thing, like, could you think life make AI without us?
I don't know.
That's what, like, I was
I mean,
was like,
before us though, what was intelligence?
And not only that, and you're thinking in a linear fashion, we're the only, you know, sentient beings that could have existed.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones that do. But what if something else would have existed instead? Or what if, you know, the parallel universe theory?
No. I guess what I'm thinking is more along the lines of 25 billion years from now, the universe is slowing to a stop, and there's some advanced life form that's some extreme blend of energy and technology and life, and it's sitting there looking at an ancient artifact from some long gone civilization from some world, and it's a little bitty knife.
it's a Kentucky X-Files sticker.
And when he looks at this knife, he's looking at his first ancestor. That this is where it started. That at some point this living creature made this to make its life easier, and that's when my kind was born. You know what I mean? Like he started out as this, but as time and millions of years advanced, I mean, how the hell would an artificial intelligence advance throughout millennia? You know,
The only thing I keep like I've
Fucking
always
crazy.
wondered. I feel like what I was trying to get at was more along the lines is that we have random discoveries like all the time, and I've always wondered if we had the knowledge that we do today, thousands of years back, could we do the things that we found? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like if we had it all thousands of years back then in the Stone Age,
Yeah.
we just had say that we just went back in time and we started to build and all that knowledge. Do we need all like the middle gaps, like all the stuff that lead it up to the stepping stones that led to those great discoveries?
I think I keep leaving out gaps of what my thought process is on this. I think that's where the confusion is. That advanced artificial being that I'm talking about is your descendant. It is your next step in evolution. Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe not immediate, but I think that, like we started as, primates hanging around trees. We made a rock. We hit something with a rock. We thought it was good. It just spiraled. We started making things, millions of years later, we're building cars and airplanes and shit and building computers that can outthink us. So, I think that we have to go through each step and gain a little bit of earned knowledge as we go to get better. But I think that future race or whatever, I don't think it's human. I think it's made by. And in that sense, I believe that it still becomes our descendant. But it still becomes the next human because we are responsible for it.
But I think we said this last time. Okay, have you ever you guys seen the movie Chappie?
Chappie, yeah.
Well, okay, the guy
Chappie looks cool.
Yeah, Chappie looks cool.
I love that guy that makes those. Neil, what is it? Neil Bloomingcamp or something?
Yeah, he was the same guy that was in District 9.
Yeah, he makes some interesting movies.
Yeah. Yeah, he played Chappie, but he was basically the first full artificial intelligence. He was they put it in a decommissioned robot, and that. But I'm sorry if it's a spoiler if you guys haven't seen it. But his creator gets basically he basically gets killed. He's going to die.
No.
So, but Chappie, with his infinite knowledge that he can access, and he's learning it, especially with a brain like a computer brain. Think about that as a human being and having the access to a computer's brain in a sense, and the thinking power that it can do. It actually was able to take his consciousness, a human's consciousness, and put it in a body.
Yeah.
I just I feel like we said this before. You would go mad. I think they're going mad. But that's what I'm saying is that because you're tossed into this ring with you lost your sense of touch, you can't feel anything anymore.
Yeah.
You have the urge to eat, but you can't eat.
Right.
So how do we evolve past that? How do that is the key. If that's our ancestor, is it a new it technically has nothing, no blood, no flesh to meddle.
Yeah. Imagine the advantages. You go out there, you're on a ship with all these other, non-organic human descendants now. You land on a planet that's got wildlife on it, You're not even going to put off a scent that's enticing to predators.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You're literally... That's one tiny advantage. I mean, yeah. You could probably build way more advanced things to make things work, but think about life support's no longer needed. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I feel like that would turn, but then how would life begin again? how would you reproduce?
See, I'm looking at this as if this is life.
But no, as
it's artificial life, but it's life.
No, I'm just saying, like, say, take your typical family of 4.
Yeah.
You have a child, two children, and a mom and pop.
Yeah. See, I'm looking at like those are long gone. They're no longer. They're not. They're
so
extinct.
There's no infants anymore.
Humankind is extinct. That's one of the descendants
but how did
years and years and
then
years
how
ago.
does one's consciousness or AI is born though? How do you think that would be?
I mean,
that's like how you would multiply.
It wouldn't be any different than how they started to begin with. But instead of needing us to create the next model, they would create their own next models.
And it would just be its own sentient being.
Yeah, because
it has no attachment to the other one previously.
Right. Robots can build computers.
Yeah. It's what I mean. That's what
robots can. They're people too.
Right. They're robots. Their brain. The human brain is a computer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, essentially, they would be starting life almost the same as us.
And think about the advancements they would make, knowing things that they can calculate at the rate of speed they can calculate it.
Yeah.
You know, things that we can't calculate and figure out, they would already know the answer to.
I'm just a little bummed that I don't see the humor. Like, I feel like humor would be obsolete.
Probably.
And
I don't know.
That bums me out.
They would have no dependency on
Come
dopamine
on, like,
whatsoever.
How that would be fucking hilarious. Like these guys hey guys, look. He on his little screen pad he puts 80085 and he's like, it says boob.
If you think about it though.
It's like that's funny.
I'm right there with you. I
would laugh.
I love humor. You know, I'm just as goofy as you guys are. You know, I love it.
But there's no need.
If their purpose as a people is progress, you know, then and they're not dependent on dopamine whatsoever. Mm-hmm. They don't need it. They put all of their focus on progress and moving forward. They're going to advance at crazy speeds because they don't need entertainment and humor to pacify themselves. They don't need it.
They also don't need rest.
And they don't need rest. So, they can just keep moving forward.
Oh well, unless the power, to recharge.
Yeah.
Unless by then they figured out a way to have the everlasting battery.
I mean, still they might not need rest. They might be able to dock themselves and
just
still
charge
and still continue to work. I mean, your cell phone works when it's plugged in. You know.
Yeah.
They were like
Tesla.
Hey.
I mean, Tesla knew how to transfer energy without any wires or anything, just an energy field.
Yeah.
And that was
what?
Yeah, Tesla.
Tesla invented wireless charging.
Yeah, he knew how to move electric through the air all around you, and turn lights on and all kinds of crazy shit.
If it wasn't for Edison, we would all have free electricity.
Yeah.
So you can thank Edison for that shit.
Yeah. That's just, I mean.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
That's
sorry, just.
That's what we get for having a country that's based on economics and nothing else, consumerism and economics. You know.
Hey,
I hate to say it, but it's. Look, how many times does a problem come up and then the cost is discussed? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like this major problem happens and everybody's just like, well, let's fix it. Okay, let's fix it. Let's get it done. A major problem happens and then we're like, oh man, it's going to be expensive. Fuck, yeah. We're going to have to defund something.
Yeah.
We're
going to have to close
Why?
we're going to have to close something down.
We make the money.
Right.
We literally print it. We can afford it. You know,
but I feel
whole
like
different subject. I'm not going to get into that shit.
Yeah. Well,
Robots won't have that problem. They're going to realize the currency's a waste of time.
But that's what I feel like that was what I was getting at is that. So these things would have no attachment whatsoever other than the fact that we basically kicked it. We kicked the ball in their corner.
Yeah.
So I was saying.
We would be essentially replacing ourselves with a newer model. and then they would
Like, they
replace
have-
their cells, and then they would
Yeah,
replace
'cause-
their cells, and you know.
I just kept saying is that would we ever, as a human race, would we turn ourselves into robots? I could see before we get to that point of making robots and that leap. I can see augmentation because shit. I think we talked about it before. Here we go again. Elon Musk. What's that neurotech? I think we were talking about the brain implant. So I can see that happening, that we start to modify ourselves, but then eventually it could go to.
If they told you tomorrow, hey, if you come and get this chip, you're literally going to be able to calculate anything instantly.
We went over this on.
Would you do it?
We went over this on the whole tech one a couple weeks ago. If I'm not on like Wi-Fi or anything, I don't want to be hacked.
Right.
I really don't want malware in my brain skis.
Go back to the little gray alien in the window. Coming full circle back to that scary ass little gray alien staring with his big black ass eyes in the window right at you, with no emotion, calculating, watching. He's not even threatened by you. Think he's an organic being?
Probably partially.
Maybe he is. I don't know, but it sure seems to me like if he's traveling that far.
That's something that it would be.
You know what I mean?
Okay, what about this? Like, that would be something that I think that we could, like, because we already have it, is cloning.
Yeah.
Cloning technology.
What if the aliens are abducting people and putting butt probes up, on them and stuff because they're trying to make sure we don't have artificial intelligence? They're like, let's just grab a handful
I think
of
you're
them
about to say to see if we don't have intelligence
and probe them and see if they got any robot parts, and if not, we'll just drop them back off.
I mean, that's.
Then my grandmother would be abducted and taken away. She's like full metal.
I just really loved what my question did to Josh just now. 'Cause he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I mean, I can't argue that.
Yeah. I don't know, Yeah.
What I was saying is that think about that. You send like embryos to a distant planet, and you basically are born on the ship. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like your consciousness is in this organic body. So you get what I'm saying? It's like, so you basically have more immortality, but you're reborn, like rebirthing yourself over and over.
I don't know. It's just that the whole problem I have is it's the traveling. It's how these aliens and shit are getting from one place to another. And that's kind of why I brought up the AI in the first place, was when we see all these like UFOs and all this shit, and I can't help but think like, man, why wouldn't you send a drone?
Right.
Why would you go yourself before you knew,
Right.
It would be so much easier to send a drone from way farther away and some AI guys, little gray robot guys on the ship, because you don't have to feed them for the long trip.
You can actually power them off.
Yeah, they can send a feed back to home base, and
It's
they
not
can.
Called, what about? It's not called like they. That's not their
It's
language.
the branch.
Yeah, the branch.
It's the. I hate you guys. It's
Report back to branch.
downloading. They're from Mars.
Yeah. As long as those aliens don't show up, I'm cool with it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no doubt. Those are the worst aliens of all alien movie history.
Yeah. They got them guys they're like kings of overreacting.
And their kill streak is insane.
Yeah. Really, really good at killing stuff. I just think that like when I see the people talk about these aliens and how they move, how they act and all this, I'm like, man, what if they're robots? What if they're AI sent by whoever? It solves a lot of issues.
They just look like they're organic.
Yeah, because if you got this ship, right, your ship can survive the G-force, but living creatures inside the ship, not so much. So what if the guys you're sending are made of the same stuff the ship is made of? They're just in a closet somewhere, docked up, and they're plugged into their wall chargers
next to the broom.
The
dustpan.
They launched a ship, and it just literally hauls ass all the way to where they need it to go.
What the fuel require, depending on,
you can get crazy speeds using just inertia. I mean, think acetylene.
Yeah.
Right? Oxyacetylene, right? The ships and the satellites have little acetylene tanks that when they need a course correction, it's a little tss,
yes,
and that's it. And that's enough force to get them hauling ass. It takes a while.
There's no resistance.
There's no resistance. So
I've always wondered that, this might be
it could be a giant slingshot up above their planet, and they just back the ship into it, and they're like, boing.
Isn't that like that rocket has no fuel? What was it? It's that.
Yeah, it spins it.
Yeah,
and launches it. I just.
Yeah, that just looks bad.
I got a bad feeling about that one.
It just smacks the ground. Okay, mulligan on that one, guys.
Yeah, we got another one of those, right? Because that one's broke.
You're not more concerned about Jeff? He was in that rocket.
I mean, he signed the waiver. He should have been a robot.
He should have been a robot.
He'd be fine.
And another thing too is that we always put in this. I know that we're saying if the civilization is advanced enough to come here.
No.
Then there's. We should be worried because they could more advanced and stuff. But I always made the things we always think it's the same. We never say that if they're the same being or from the same planet or from the same wherever.
Like a different race or species.
They're not they're basically neighbors to blah blah blah, and they're next
I always
to.
wondered are they doing this shit to each other too?
Freaking
are they showing up to each other's planets and grabbing people?
That would explain the difference in ships too. The cigar-shaped ships. That's hard to say, by the way.
Cigar-shaped ships.
Yeah, it is.
Cigar-shaped
and then the flying saucer style, and then the black triangle.
Yeah.
To me, I would assume the black triangle would have to be the most advanced.
Yeah.
Because they're making something that doesn't make sense fly.
Yeah. And possibly something that literally creates a singularity event when it powers up.
Right.
Causes lost time and gravitational problems, and
but didn't we say
or disrupts gravity?
Well, the singularity. I thought we said that doesn't even really need. You'd be on the other end of the galaxy. You could literally go thousands, millions of miles away.
Because you could bend time and space.
Yeah.
Like a loop.
Yeah.
So when you kept saying about the
you'd almost have to be a robot to figure that out,
right?
I get where you're coming from on that part, but I'm just saying
I'm just thinking it yeah, dude, how the hell would anybody figure that out? They gotta be a damn robot.
It has to be an Xbox.
Mm-hmm. There's no way. We're basically gonna ride the Morbius strip here and just go ahead back to the other end of the galaxy. Whoop, gone. They just appear back at home all right, yeah, man, that was a good trip. Let's clock out, boys. We'll get back at it early tomorrow.
That's a really messed up thought that they could do it in a shift.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying thought because then it's well, how long is it going to take for them to go get help?
What if they break down?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of logistical problems with all of this.
It's like quadruple A.
Yeah, it's like the Black Triangle ship. What if we're seeing it because it's got a problem? They're waiting for their tow truck to get here.
They're calling tech support. I'm getting this error message.
Right.
Okay, did you try to reboot?
Unplugged?
Yeah, did you try to reboot?
Yeah, thrusters 404 not found.
Josh, you've had your phone up for a while. You got something there?
I had it open so it wouldn't go away because we were talking about AI and things like that, and it made me think about it. In the lost intro to this episode,
Yeah.
I was telling the story about the guy with the tiny boat.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now, you saw, like, all I did was show you, like, 2 pictures of this from Google.
Yeah.
Right? And now, the third ad on my Facebook page is small boats.
Yeah.
I mean,
see,
it's already listening to us.
Yeah, the phones are advancing. That'll be the first ones to turn on us.
It's paying attention.
They're already turning on us.
Yeah. I loved it, man. What was it? You know how people there for a while were like, oh man, the government's gonna they're gonna put this chip in you where they can track your every move and listen to you, and they're gonna, it's the mark of the beast and all this, and it's like, I loved it. It's like, no, dude, they don't have to do that at all. You literally bought it yourself.
Yeah. And fed them all the information they want.
Yes, and you're continuously feeding them.
And then you allow it more into your home when you get all these cameras. Have you heard about all this people hacking into people's like Google house cameras?
Yeah.
And like talking to their people talking to their children through the cameras. It's like,
yeah, so that's messed up.
and like now they have like the you got your video doorbell, and you got your digital, like I have, like on my house we have a keypad. You just press in a button, like you press a code and you get in. But now you can use your phone to like say somebody's like, people's been doing it for packages. Like, hey, just put it in the door. They see it's been delivered. They lock their door from their phone when they're freaking hours away from their house.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm like, you're like, everybody's worried about all this government interfering.
Yeah.
We're letting them into our house. There was one with one of the, what is those? Is it not a Kindle? What are those things? The Alexa. It apparently solved a murder in a way, because everybody's like, oh, it's not the Alexa's not listening to me right now because I told it to turn itself off. But okay, oh, it's off. It can't hear you at all. Yeah, because it's off. I told it to turn itself off. Alexa, yes. It just fucking heard me, but it was off. But it still can hear you. But that's what happened was, I guess the argument started happening, and it randomly called a friend, and the whole thing was recorded.
Oh wow!
So I can't remember where I saw it. Like, this was months back where I heard this, but it's like those, like, yeah, that was used for a good thing. Like it solved a.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a murder or a potential for a murder, but like it called them, and like that's like what I'm saying is that it was recorded and the dang thing just opened up.
Yeah.
Their home.
I just think about Alexa itself.
Yeah.
There's billions of them out there now, right? This isn't even an AI. It's not an artificial intelligence. It's literally a client program that's linked to a host program.
Right.
That's it. And it already has that kind of potential. So it's like, yeah, dude, I really do think it's like, it's something to be wearisome of.
We don't need, like, when we give those types of systems all of our information, it doesn't really matter. Like, we are, like, the AI, like, it already knows our whole freaking life. It can do that, and then shit, like, you can't go on Google now. You type in, I'm looking for a motorcycle. Now every fucking ad that on, even if you go to a naughty website, there's ads for motorcycles.
What kind of naughty websites are we talking? Like, just
I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I saw where McDonald's is wanting to put in like robot burger flippers.
Really?
Yeah, they want to just have burger flippers that just sit there and flip burgers all day. And all I thought of when I saw this was,
I hope you're
why don't we work on the fucking ice cream machine?
Right.
let's not reinvent the wheel on the burger flippers just yet, because that that problem is it's working. It's fine. People can handle it. But apparently, the fucking ice cream machine is just beyond our control. This thing's out of control. It's hot as shit outside. You want to get a damn ice cream, and you can't because the damn thing's always broken. You get you a robot ice cream, he's going to take care of himself.
Yeah.
Give him AI. His whole goal in life is to make sure that you get the flavor you want most of all. You want sprinkles? He's on it. You can tell him how much sprinkles in weight, in grams if you want, and he'll make sure that shit is evenly distributed on that ice cream.
That's an unfair thing to do. In grams?
I'm just saying, like, he's gonna know.
Yeah.
You could be like, all right, I want half a gram of peanuts and sprinkles mixed evenly.
There's only going to be like 5 groups of people that can even order McDonald's by the grams.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, like,
Europeans, Asians, drug dealers.
Yeah.
Homebrew people.
Yeah, all forms of life will be welcome with robot ice cream bot. I think anyway. That reminds me of something funny I saw where they were saying that Americans will do anything they can. Did you see that too? To not use the metric system. And some dude was like, I dare you to come within a football field of me and say that to my face or something like that.
No, he said that this way, like some types of like.
The reference was a certain whale is so many football fields long.
Yeah, football fields long, and then that's when America will never use the actual metric system to do that. I dare you to come three whales
away from America,
away from me and say that to my face.
Oh, it's freaking great, dude.
I was like, oh, God. I really feel like, okay, we don't want to use the metric system, but you can give us that we're good comeback artists.
Yeah.
We're
good at that. Yeah.
We'll be dicks.
I don't know if I'm being honest with you guys. The way my brain works, the metric system actually works with my brain a lot better. Everything's in tenths. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, it makes sense to me. Like I can work with it, but it's like, it feels wrong.
Right.
It's not what you're taught most of the time.
Yeah. I'm dead set on imperial.
But I'm with you.
I'm used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've learned it, and I've gotten really good at it.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm just saying that when I have to use metrics, I'm like, this makes sense to me. Like I understand why the world wants to use it. I get it, but not here. God damn it! Right. Damn unnatural. Measuring stuff in tenths evenly.
It's the use of the devil.
Yeah, I don't know. In regards to all that stuff, though, like, give me an AI ice cream maker, that serves. That's he can self-repair when he plugs himself in at night, whatever, and then I guarantee aliens are gonna land and wipe them all out.
Can we start out with a low-tech AI ice cream maker, like a little Amish-looking ice cream machine that's churning his own ice cream?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, start out low-tech and let's work our way up before we have a sentient ice cream machine wiping out all the Wendy's and Burger Kings.
That would be amazing. That's how it starts. That's how
the fast food wars start in Demolition Man.
Oh, my God.
We always thought it was the restaurants themselves.
It's the AI.
It was the Frosty machine versus the ice cream machine.
The AI ice cream machine.
The AI.
It's the AI ice cream machine, and it becomes sentient.
An enormous mystery.
Oh my God, guys out there listening, stay strong.
I'm just saying this.
Hey, tell us how to use the 3 seashells.
Yeah, tell us how to use the 3 seashells, please.
But I'm just the only
images in my brain are disturbing.
The only thing I'm saying on this
is a lot of
scraping.
The only thing I'm weirded out by, like, I'm not weirded. Like, it's how to say this. I'm kind of baffled by McDonald's saying that they're gonna do that with the burger, like a robot to flip burgers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably going to cost thousands of dollars, especially probably hundreds and hundreds of dollars to maintain, to keep going, especially in a fast pace. It's probably going to get gunked up, so it has to be cleaned on a daily. So you're going to have to train somebody to clean that on a day-to-day basis, but they will not pay them $15. Like I'm just I'm not. I understand. Like I'm not. I feel like just like how you were talking about the currency. I don't want to get into that, but I think it's stupid that they won't pay somebody to flip the burger more money, but they're going to spend thousands of dollars on this. Maybe I understand. It's McDonald's. At least this robot arm is not going to call into work every 2 days.
I'm going to say I feel like McDonald's is they've put their cards down on this one. Like they're showing where they stand. They're like, hey, you want to raise and you know this? Yeah, we're just gonna buy a robot.
Yeah.
You know, guess what? We pay one time for him. You know, we pay one big price for him and never have to pay him again. All we gotta do is pay some dude to work on him every now and again, and you know that guy's gonna get paid good.
Yeah.
I would probably say that. You know, if you're flipping burgers out there and you want to get ahead of this, you should probably go into a field of robotics so that you could start doing maintenance on the on the burger robot, the iBurger.
Oh, freaking! Apple's getting it's Apple
Burgers.
Apple Burgers.
That sounds awful.
Microsoft Burgers, BurgerSoft.
The Mackin Burger.
Oh man.
The Macintosh Burger.
So this is where AI leads us, guys. This is what it turns out. Our quest to become a more advanced civilization is going to start with an ice cream machine.
And it's going to start the fast food wars.
Yep.
But I wonder how Taco Bell came out on top in that.
I know, that's weird.
Because they don't sell ice cream.
Yeah.
They just sat back and watched everybody destroy.
Well, they have ices.
That's what it is.
They sell ices.
They stayed out of the war because they don't have ice cream. And then after the other teams will wipe each other out, then they kind of swooped in and cleaned up the mess.
Here's a Mexican pizza, guys.
That pretty much the AI ice cream machines, they couldn't compute, you know, that. So they just started failing, you know. There you go. Everything's Taco Bell after that.
Here's a cinnamon twist.
Those are the bomb.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
Yeah.
I like their the little cinnamon donut things.
Little Cinnabons.
The little creamy little cinnamon delights.
Yeah, those are good.
I
like those. I wonder if we should let these folks get on with their day.
Yeah,
I really feel like we should.
I feel like we're going to make them hungry and they regretted that they got Taco Bell.
I was going to say, if you listen to us first thing in the morning, good luck making it the next 4 hours to lunch. After hearing all that.
Yep. All right, folks. We'll take care of each other out there. We'll see you next time.
There's an owl out there hanging around, and it's pulled my number for sure. I can't remember if I said any last words, because the day before was a blur. They buried the old man about a week ago, and I wouldn't shed a tear if I could. Now we didn't see eye to eye, you see, until he closed his eyes for good. thing follows you, my son. You'll live 100 nights searching for hell, and all of your days by the gun. Beware the good times in your life. They just hide the bad for a while. That feeling you hide behind the tears and the pain is the reason you can smile. For sure, he's flapping his wings and he's calling for me. I think I'll lay down for a